origins of the missile crisis really date back to the end of World War II. There was already a lot of tension between the United States and the Soviet Union. That tension would continue to grow over the years and create problems between the two nations. Many of the problems would stem from the fact that they were very different when it came to ideological standpoints and views. America was a democratic nation, a democratic capitalist nation, whose main goal was to contain communists and stop it from spreading to other areas. On the other hand, we had a communist nation who based their whole entire government off of socialist views. They thought Americans were evil imperialists, just like Americans thought they were evil communists.
A tangible symbol, it's like across the wall is the evil communist nation who don't let their people out. There were many stories of people trying to scale the wall and of them being shot in the process, shot down like dogs by these guards in towers, these Soviet soldiers who were patrolling the wall. And if you were an East German trying to escape East Germany, which was under communist control at the time as a legacy of World War II, if you tried to escape and scale the wall, you would be shot dead.
The American people and the American government really did have a very true and real fear of the spread of communism. Often throughout America, there would be films, books, an entire variety of things and propaganda that would portray communists as evil and as the bad people. These fears would rise to new heights after the American government discovered that the Soviet Union had placed missiles in Cuba only 90 miles away from the U.S. coastline. These fears would rise to new heights. There were many people who actually tried to prepare. People were trying to find ways to prepare for something that couldn't actually be prepared for. Schools would often have students perform duck and cover drills, although they would not protect against any of the damage caused by nuclear attack. Finally, this all ended on October 28th of that same year in 1962. It was no sooner than a year later when the nation would experience another tragedy and turmoil. This would be when Kennedy would arrive at Dallas on that one fatal day. On this day, Kennedy was parading and driving around on the now famous site of the grassy knolls. There he would be shot by Lee Harvey Oswald, who would later be killed as well. People were desperately awaiting to see if the president would make it out to the next day. Despite all the efforts at Parkland Hospital, the president did not make it, and his body was later flown back to Washington. Along with Kennedy's family, the nation was mourning his loss. Crowds would gather in his memory, and soon more events continued to unfold after his death. Lee Harvey Oswald was shot. Conspiracy surrounded everything that was going on. In the midst of all of this, news media and the television continued to capture this and really inform and show the people what was going on.
That one didn't affect me like the missile crisis because it still was not, that was not about me. That was about a leader. I think the fact that the thing that affected me most at the time was actually seeing someone shot and killed in real time. And that was not Kennedy, that was Lee Harvey Oswald. And so that probably affected me more. The other took on more of a unrealistic, like somebody's telling you, it's kind of like reading about Lincoln's assassination, only it's a newer one. Mm-hmm. And so that period of time was very momentous because we used to we used to watch the astronaut launches like people today watch mass shootings and stuff like that. We sat there, and that was in the same year that the missile crisis, because we had the missile crisis then, and I think we had the first, John Glenn went up in like February, and then the next November was when Kennedy was shot. So this was kind of the first time that I, as a child, was really super exposed to news media. Was that whole year was all about watching history unfold.